Hello, hello. I haven't done this in a while, so I'm a little rusty. Oh, it looks like that connected. And it also looks like the live stream connected on YouTube, I believe. It sure did. I'm going to copy and paste that link over. There we go. All right. So, this is the forum question. Having some problems getting toolpaths on I'm just going to minimize some of these other screens. It's distracting me. Okay, this one right here. This elemental having a problem with this new sign. So I'm going to download. Nick there was able to download it off the link that was it Element? Elemental linked. So, where is that? Right here. So I'm going to open that now, and we'll find out exactly what's going on here. Excuse me. All right. So let's take a look at some of these toolpaths. Yeah, they're generating on the wrong side in some situations. I'm just looking through them here. Some of them aren't generating toolpaths at all. Some only at the top. Okay. Let's take a look at this last one. And we individually selected everything. It looks like the hard way. See, every one of these has been selected individually. Every one of these chains. And yeah, if the red arrow is on the outside of the shape, this is if you do select individual chains, which at this stage of the game, if you're just learning, it's probably not the best. You can flip it to the other side, but let's not worry about that. I'm just going to go cancel here. Let's see if we can delete all this stuff. All right. I am going to go here under models, and I am going to suppress the sketch, just so you're not selecting two things. That's over here in the browser bar. And you can see the eyeball icon. You can either have it invisible or visible, and I'm just going to make the body visible in this case. So from here I'm going to start and make a setup. Orientate myself in the bottom left hand corner. Under stock, I usually do about a 1/4 inch cancel. I usually do about a 1/4 inch of offset around the shape. So the stock is referring to the material. So if I set up my XY coordinate my torch head, that means the shape would be inset with the, and aligned it with the bottom left hand corner. That means my shape I'm going to cut would be 1/4 inch in on either edge. So if I change this to 1 inch, yeah, it'd obviously be more dramatic. I don't want 1 inch though. I'm just going to do 1/4. I like to change the name here. So I'm going to go SMG Samantha's Memorial Garden. Okay. And then from here I have this setup. I'm going to use the cutting tool. It'll likely show me which cutting tool you're using. This Power Max 45 tool you set up for. I'm going to just take a quick look what you have for settings in here. I am going to change the nozzle diameter to the kerf width just for simulation purposes, and it doesn't hurt anything. That nozzle diameter would make more sense if you weren't running a torch height control, because you'd be doing the avoiding things by, what would you call it, z-axis, by the tipping avoidance. Okay, 40 inches per minute. I'm not sure how thick the sign is, but that's could be pretty low for 14 gauge or something like that. Anyhow, under geometry now we'll move into the next tab in the setup menu. I'm going to select geometry, and from here I'm just going to select the whole body, or the face, excuse me. Now move over to passes. I usually like to drop the tolerance by 1, add some smoothing just because of the shapes. I'm not going to get into, there's other options in here too that I like quite a bit, which is feed optimization and finishing overlap, but we can get into that later. But finishing overlap is that it extends. If you hold over a second, it'll tell you exactly what it is, but it cuts a little past when it's finished and then leads out. And feed optimization changes the feed rate depending on the contours that it's coming upon. And again, if you hover over anything, it will give you a little discussion about it. Sometimes if you don't know the context of all the different words they're using, it's meaningless, but over time. And then next we'll go into linking here, and this is all your lead in, leads out. So I like to usually do a little bit of a lead in radius. I find it softens that lead in. For the circles, and if you have a Power Max 45, you should be able to get pretty close pierce clearances. So here, let's try this. All right. And it's generating here. Oh yeah, it pretty much generated everything. Here, I could do a little bit. Those are some pretty big mounting holes. And only at the bottom. Anyhow. Yeah, it managed to pick up everything. Let's do a little bit of finishing overlap. Go in here, edit. I'm going to do just the smallest bit of finishing overlap. Like a 30-second. And I do some feed rate optimization if I really want it sharp. I'm going to throw some on there. Let's see what it looks like here. Everything in yellow is everything feed optimized. Yeah, I didn't like that. That finishing overlap screwed up picking up some of those items. So now if I go in here and I get rid of that finishing overlap, I bet you it will bring those items back. Let's see. Yeah. It's feed rating too much for me. Here, let's just get rid of that. I'm complicating the issue here. Okay. anyhow, it generates everything flawlessly. We'll go into simulation. I'll run a simulation here. And it appears it's going to cut this with no problem. Depending on your material thickness, though, 40 inches per minute is not going to be the right speed. But again, that depends on your material thickness. Your 45 XP manual should be very, very close to the settings you will start with and use. Alright. I am going to resave this and post it back to the forum. Hopefully you get some benefit from that. Have a good day.